A shocking oversight can have life-altering consequences, even when warnings arrive just in time. But here's where the story takes a turn that will leave many questioning what really happened. Just weeks before a devastating workplace accident left employee Sean Wiley with a severed fingertip, federal officials sounded the alarm. Inspectors from OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, directed Robin Vos's food packaging company to safeguard its machinery to prevent sudden, accidental startup. A seemingly straightforward directive. Yet tragedy struck anyway. The accident occurred in March at the Burlington plant, where Wiley was deep cleaning an industrial ribbon blender, a massive mixer for products like ice cream powder and muffin mix. Suddenly, with no warning, the machine activated, slicing off a portion of his finger. To make matters worse, Wiley only learned after the fact that his teammate, designated to guard the equipment alongside him, had been shifted to other duties without anyone telling him. Nobody said he was taken off, Wiley explained in an interview, recalling how he was left exposed and unaware that the machinery remained active. After the incident, Robin J. Vos Enterprises received 2 safety citations and an initial $33,000 fine from OSHA, later reduced through a settlement to $19,000. Notably, this was not the company's first brush with regulators this year. In fact, records show Vos's facility had faced OSHA scrutiny before, with a prior inspection in September 2024 following a separate employee complaint. At that time, federal inspectors faulted the company for failing to implement procedures to make sure machines couldn't suddenly start and hurt workers, explicitly mentioning the ribbon blender at the heart of Wiley's accident. Given that OSHA's February follow-up citation mandated correcting these shortcomings by March 10th, the very day Wiley was injured, one has to wonder, were the safety improvements too little, too late? Representatives for TS Food Packaging, the company's alternate name, argued otherwise, stating that all corrective actions, including enhanced training and added machine guards, were addressed promptly and exceeded regulatory requirements. David Dobbs, the firm's vice president, asserted, "Our workplace injury rate is well below the industry average." Dobbs pinned Wiley's accident on individual protocol failure, calling it an isolated case rather than evidence of larger safety issues. But this is where debate heats up. Wiley doesn't agree. He insists he followed procedures and was misled about the staffing and safety measures. "I was told there were supposed to be 2 people there." Should responsibility fall on an employee who is put in a vulnerable position without proper support? Or does the buck stop at management for inadequate safeguards? OSHA wasn't convinced either. Its report stated that proper safety protocols, like ensuring equipment is turned off and locked while being serviced, were lacking. Furthermore, the agency found employees weren't adequately trained to spot and avoid hazardous scenarios, which exposed them to entanglement and potential amputation risks. For those keeping score, the earlier OSHA investigation that triggered all these warnings stemmed from a workplace complaint about conditions at Vos's plant. OSHA cited the company for not having a written respiratory protection program and for not controlling hazardous energy sources, meaning machines could turn on without warning. Violations included reports of powder in the air with inadequate masks and insufficient worker training. Those fines, originally totaling $14,000, were negotiated down to $4,900. In defending the plant's record, Dobbs maintained corrective actions were already in place before the accident. He added that the company has since redoubled efforts for safety, citing new reviews, hazard analysis, and staff feedback as part of a continuous improvement strategy. Here's the big question, and potentially the most controversial one. If repeated federal warnings and 2 rounds of fines can't fix these workplace hazards, what will? When does accountability shift from an individual's actions to corporate culture and leadership? Should regulators take a stronger stance, or are companies like TS Food Packaging doing enough? What do you think? Are these incidents isolated slip-ups, or do they speak to deeper issues in food factory safety? Sound off below. Should stricter rules or more transparent oversight be in place? especially for companies run by public figures like Robin Vos. Let's get the debate started.